100 Wonders of the Ocean. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine vast, endless blue stretching beyond the horizon. The ocean. It covers more than 70% of our planet's surface, yet we've explored less than 5% of its depths. What we do know is extraordinary, and what awaits discovery is beyond our wildest dreams. Let us begin our journey where the ocean meets the sky, where sunlight dances on the surface of the water. Here, in these upper layers, something miraculous happens every single day. Tiny organisms called phytoplankton, so small that millions could fit in a single drop of water, drift through the currents, harnessing the sun's energy. These microscopic plants are humble in appearance, yet they perform a task of breathtaking importance. They produce more than half of the oxygen we breathe. Every second breath you take, you owe to the ocean. But the ocean's gifts extend far beyond the air in our lungs. Imagine standing on a beach as waves roll toward you, one after another, in their eternal rhythm. These waves have traveled across vast distances, carrying energy from storms thousands of miles away. Some waves that kiss the shore today began their journey weeks ago, in waters you'll never see. The ocean is patient. It remembers winds that have long since stilled, and it delivers their energy to distant lands with gentle persistence. Now, let's descend beneath the surface, into the twilight zone of the sea. Here, where sunlight begins to fade, we encounter creatures of impossible beauty and adaptation. The ocean's depths are home to more species than all the world's rainforests combined, perhaps 10 million different forms of life, most of which remain unknown to science. In these darker waters, many creatures have developed a remarkable ability. They create their own light. This bioluminescence isn't mere decoration, it's a language written in flashes and glows, a way to find mates, lure prey, or confuse predators in the perpetual darkness. Consider for a moment the great whales that move through these waters like living cathedrals. The blue whale, the largest animal ever to exist on Earth, larger even than the mightiest dinosaurs, can grow to 100 feet in length and weigh as much as 30 elephants. Yet despite their enormous size, these gentle giants feed on some of the ocean's smallest creatures, filtering tons of tiny krill through their baleen plates each day. There is poetry in this, the grandest of Earth's creatures sustained by the smallest, a reminder that in the ocean, everything is connected. The whales sing to each other across distances that would astound you. A blue whale's call, traveling through the water at low frequencies, can be heard by other whales more than 1,000 miles away. Imagine that, a conversation spanning the distance between cities, between countries, carried through the dark blue medium of the sea. These songs change over time, evolving like human languages, passed from one generation to the next. What stories do they tell? What ancient wisdom do they share? We may never fully know, but we can listen and wonder. Let us return now to sunlit waters, where coral reefs bloom like gardens of stone and light. These reefs, though they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, provide homes for 25% of all marine species. They are cities beneath the waves, bustling with life in every color imaginable. But here's what makes them truly miraculous: corals are not plants, though they resemble flowers. They are animals, tiny polyps, each no larger than a pinhead, working together in vast colonies, building limestone skeletons that accumulate over centuries into structures visible from space. The Great Barrier Reef, stretching for more than 1,400 miles along Australia's coast, is the largest living structure on our planet. It wasn't built in a lifetime, or even 1,000 lifetimes. Some of the coral formations we see today began growing before the pyramids were raised, before written language existed, patiently adding layer upon layer, generation after generation. The reef is older than empires, more enduring than monuments, and more alive than any city humanity has ever built. As we float here, in the warm embrace of tropical waters, the ocean reminds us of a profound truth. We are all connected to this vast blue world, whether we live beside it or far inland. Every river flows to the sea. Every raindrop that falls will eventually return to the ocean's embrace. The water moving past us now has journeyed through clouds and streams, has nourished forests and filled lakes, has been drunk by animals and absorbed by roots. The ocean is not separate from us. It is part of the great cycle that makes all life possible. In our next moments together, we'll descend deeper still, into realms where sunlight never reaches, where the pressure would crush us in an instant, and where life has found ways to flourish that seem impossible, until you witness them. But for now, let us simply drift, breathing in the gift of oxygen the ocean provides, marveling at the songs that echo through the deep, and remembering that we are visitors to a world far older and more wondrous than we can fully comprehend. And so we descend. Below the reach of sunlight, past the twilight zone where faint rays still penetrate, we enter a realm of eternal night. Here, in the midnight zone of the ocean, the pressure is immense, more than 1,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush a human body instantly. Yet life persists, adapted to conditions that seem utterly alien to us surface dwellers. In these depths, at pressures that would collapse a submarine, we find fish with bodies so specially evolved that if brought to the surface, they would actually expand and lose their form. They belong to the deep, and the deep alone. In the darkest trenches, nearly 7 miles below the surface, the pressure reaches a staggering 8 tons per square inch. This is the Mariana Trench, the deepest place on Earth, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. If you could take the world's highest peak and sink it into this trench, its summit would still be more than a mile underwater. And yet, even here, in this most extreme environment, life finds a way. Pale amphipods scuttle across the seafloor. Strange fish drift through the darkness. Life, it seems, is far more resilient than we ever imagined. But let us rise again, back to depths where some light still filters down, where one of the ocean's most magnificent hunters patrols the waters. The great white shark, an apex predator that has remained virtually unchanged for millions of years, a living connection to the age of dinosaurs. These remarkable creatures can detect a single drop of blood in 25 million drops of water, roughly the equivalent of detecting 1 drop in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Their sense of smell is so acute that they can follow a scent trail across miles of open ocean, navigating the seemingly featureless blue with precision that puts our technology to shame. Sharks are often feared, but perhaps they should be revered instead. They've existed for more than 400 million years, predating trees, predating flowering plants, predating even the rings of Saturn. They've survived multiple mass extinctions that wiped out most life on Earth. They've witnessed the rise and fall of countless species, the shifting of continents, the cooling and warming of global climates. In their DNA is written the story of survival itself, lessons in adaptation that science is only beginning to understand. Now picture something extraordinary, a forest beneath the waves. Off the coasts of California and other temperate regions, giant kelp rises from the seafloor like submarine trees, their fronds reaching toward the surface with remarkable speed. These kelp plants can grow up to 2 feet per day, making them among the fastest growing organisms on the planet. In just a few months, a kelp forest can grow from bare rock to a dense canopy towering over 100 feet tall, creating an underwater wilderness that rivals any terrestrial forest in complexity and beauty. Swimming through these kelp forests, you might encounter one of the ocean's most endearing residents, the sea otter. These playful creatures possess the densest fur of any animal on Earth, up to 1 million hairs per square inch, so thick that water never actually touches their skin. While other marine mammals rely on blubber to stay warm in cold waters, otters depend entirely on their magnificent coat and their remarkably high metabolism. They must eat approximately 25% of their body weight each day, spending much of their time diving for urchins, crabs, and mollusks. Watch an otter floating on its back, a rock balanced on its chest as it cracks open a shellfish with practiced precision. These tools, yes, sea otters use tools, are often kept tucked in a loose fold of skin under their forearm, carried from dive to dive like a craftsman's favorite instrument. Each otter has its preferred rock, one that fits just right in their paws. They are among the few animals on Earth that use tools regularly, a trait that speaks to an intelligence and adaptability that continues to surprise researchers. Let us drift now with the currents, those great rivers within the ocean that flow with purpose and power. The Gulf Stream, one of the mightiest ocean currents, carries more water than all the world's rivers combined, about 100 times more, in fact. This massive river of warm water flows from the Gulf of Mexico up the eastern coast of the United States and across the Atlantic toward Europe, moving about 4 billion cubic feet of water per second. It shapes weather patterns, influences climates, and makes life possible in regions that would otherwise be far colder. Imagine, this current has been flowing for thousands of years, long before ships sailed upon it, long before humans even knew it existed. Viking explorers unknowingly fought against it. Colonial ships learned to use it. Today, sea turtles ride it on their migrations, letting the current carry them thousands of miles across the Atlantic as they've done for millions of years. The Gulf Stream is older than nations, more constant than empires, a force that connects continents in ways both visible and invisible. And speaking of sea turtles, these ancient mariners have their own remarkable story. Female sea turtles possess one of nature's most extraordinary navigation systems. After spending decades roaming the ocean, sometimes traveling thousands of miles, they return to the exact beach where they were born to lay their own eggs. Scientists believe they navigate using Earth's magnetic field, sensing subtle variations in the planet's magnetism to find their way home across vast, featureless expanses of ocean. It's as if they carry an internal compass, calibrated at birth to the magnetic signature of their natal beach, that never fails them. Picture a sea turtle, aged perhaps 50 years or more, pulled by an irresistible instinct toward a shore she hasn't seen since she was a hatchling no bigger than your palm. Through storms and currents, across distances that would confound us, she finds her way home. She drags herself up the beach, digs her nest, and lays her eggs in the same sand where her own life began. Then she returns to the sea, trusting that her offspring will somehow, impossibly, know the way back when their time comes. The ocean keeps so many secrets, holds so many wonders. In the depths below us, there are species yet to be discovered, phenomena we've never witnessed, connections between life forms we've only begun to understand. Each fact we learn seems only to deepen the mystery, to reveal how much more there is to know. As we continue our journey through these 100 wonders, we'll discover creatures that defy imagination, ecosystems that function like perfectly tuned machines, and partnerships between species that seem almost magical in their complexity. But for now, let us float here, between the light and the dark, between the known and the unknown, grateful for the glimpses the ocean has granted us. There are places in the ocean where the earth itself speaks. Along the mid-ocean ridges, deep underwater mountain ranges that stretch like scars across the seafloor, volcanic vents release superheated water into the freezing depths. These hydrothermal vents spew water heated to temperatures exceeding 700 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead, yet the extreme pressure at these depths prevents the water from boiling. It simply pours into the ocean like black smoke, carrying minerals from deep within the Earth's crust. Around these vents, in conditions that should be utterly lifeless, we find some of the most extraordinary ecosystems on our planet. Here, in the absence of sunlight, life has discovered another way. Bacteria harness the chemical energy from the vents, a process called chemosynthesis, and these bacteria form the foundation of an entire food web. Tube worms as tall as a person, eyeless shrimp, pale crabs, and ghostly fish all thrive in this alien landscape. These communities exist independent of the sun, proving that life needs neither light nor photosynthesis to flourish. It's a discovery that has revolutionized our understanding of where life can exist, both on Earth and perhaps on other worlds. Let us swim now into warmer, shallower waters, where we might encounter one of the ocean's most intelligent residents. The octopus, a creature so remarkable that it seems designed by a science fiction writer rather than by evolution. An octopus has 3 hearts pumping blue blood through its body, 9 brains controlling its movements, 1 central brain and a smaller brain in each of its 8 arms. Each arm can act semi-independently, solving problems and exploring crevices while the central brain attends to other matters. But perhaps most astonishing is the octopus's ability to change its appearance in less than a second. Its skin contains millions of specialized cells called chromatophores, which can expand or contract to display different colors and patterns. Beneath these lie cells that reflect light and others that create texture. Together, they allow the octopus to not merely change color, but to alter its very texture, transforming smooth skin into one covered with spikes and ridges. An octopus can impersonate rocks, coral, seaweed, even other animals. It can display emotions through color, communicate through patterns, or simply vanish before your eyes, matching its background so perfectly that it becomes invisible. Intelligence takes many forms in the ocean. Consider the dolphins that swim through these same waters, their sleek bodies cutting through the waves with effortless grace. Dolphins are known to recognize themselves in mirrors, a test of self-awareness that few animals pass. But they do something even more remarkable. Each dolphin develops its own unique signature whistle, essentially a name that it uses to identify itself and that other dolphins use to call to it. They have names for each other. They call out to friends across the water. They remember these names for decades, recognizing the whistles of companions they haven't seen in 20 years or more. Dolphins also demonstrate what can only be called culture, behaviors passed down not through genetics but through learning and teaching. In Shark Bay, Australia, some dolphins have learned to tear off pieces of sea sponge and wear them over their snouts like protective gloves while foraging along the rocky seafloor. This behavior, called sponging, is taught by mothers to their daughters, passed down through generations. It's not instinct, it's tradition, knowledge carefully transmitted from one mind to another, echoing the way human cultures pass down their crafts and customs. Now, let us consider one of the ocean's greatest travelers. The Arctic tern, though a bird of the air, is forever bound to the sea. This remarkable creature undertakes the longest migration of any animal on Earth, flying from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back again each year, a round trip of roughly 44,000 miles. Over its lifetime, which can span 30 years or more, a single Arctic tern may fly more than 1.5 million miles, equivalent to 3 trips to the moon and back. It sees more daylight than any other creature, experiencing 2 summers per year, forever chasing the sun between the planet's poles. Think of the journey, from the midnight sun of Arctic summer, across temperate waters, over the equator, past tropical seas, through the roaring 40s where wind and waves collide, finally arriving at Antarctic waters just as summer begins there. Then, as winter approaches, the entire journey in reverse. Year after year, generation after generation, these elegant birds trace the same path their ancestors flew, reading cues in the stars, the sun, the Earth's magnetic field, and the very smell of the ocean winds. In the ocean's middle depths, there exists a layer so dense with life that for decades it puzzled scientists. During World War II, sonar operators detected what appeared to be a false seafloor, a phantom bottom that rose toward the surface each night and descended each morning. They called it the deep scattering layer, and for years its nature remained a mystery. Eventually, we discovered the truth. It's not a solid surface at all, but a vast congregation of small fish, squid, krill, and jellyfish, billions upon billions of small creatures rising from the depths each night to feed in surface waters, then descending before dawn to avoid predators. This daily migration is the largest movement of biomass on Earth, happening every single day in oceans around the world, largely invisible to human eyes. Imagine the scope. Every evening, as darkness falls across the ocean, countless creatures rise from depths of 1,500 feet or more. Lanternfish with glowing photophores, translucent squid, tiny crustaceans, they ascend through hundreds of feet of water, traveling distances that would exhaust us, driven by hunger and the relative safety of darkness. Then, as dawn approaches, they sink back into the depths, where the dim light offers protection from the hunters above. It's a vertical marathon performed daily, an underwater aurora of life flowing up and down through the ocean's layers. Closer to shore, in the tide pools left by receding waves, entire worlds exist in miniature. These small pools, some no larger than a cooking pot, contain ecosystems as complex as any other. Sea anemones anchor themselves to rocks, their tentacles swaying like flowers in an underwater breeze, waiting for small fish or shrimp to brush against their stinging cells. Hermit crabs scuttle across the bottom, wearing borrowed shells, ready to upgrade to larger homes as they grow. Sea stars cling to the rocks, and in some species, if torn in half, each half can regenerate into a complete animal, 2 sea stars where there was once one. These tide pools teach us about resilience. Twice each day, they're submerged beneath the waves. Twice each day, they're exposed to air, sun, wind, rain, and sometimes freezing temperatures. The creatures here must survive wild swings in temperature, salinity, and oxygen levels that would kill most marine life. They are the bridge dwellers, the inhabitants of 2 worlds, and they've adapted to embrace change as the only constant. The ocean continues to surprise us. Each dive brings new discoveries, each study reveals new connections. We've learned that the sea is not a single entity but countless communities, each adapted to its particular corner of the marine realm, each playing its role in the greater symphony of life. And still, there is so much more to discover. In the depths ahead, mysteries await, creatures that glow, partnerships that sustain entire ecosystems, and wonders that will remind us why we must protect this blue heart of our planet. In the twilight depths, where sunlight fades to the faintest whisper of blue, there swims a creature that seems conjured from dreams. The giant squid, elusive, mysterious, and enormous beyond belief. These legendary animals can grow to lengths of 43 feet or more, with eyes the size of dinner plates. In fact, the giant squid possesses the largest eyes in the entire animal kingdom, each one measuring up to 10 inches in diameter. These enormous eyes are perfectly adapted for capturing even the faintest traces of light in the deep ocean, allowing them to detect the silhouettes of predators or prey in near total darkness. For centuries, giant squid existed only in sailors' tales and in the scars found on the skin of sperm whales, the only predator large and powerful enough to hunt them. These 2 titans wage battles in the lightless depths that we can barely imagine, whale against squid, each a master of its domain, locked in a struggle as old as the ocean itself. Only in recent years have scientists managed to capture footage of living giant squid in their natural habitat, and each glimpse reminds us how much of the ocean remains unknown, how many mysteries still drift through the dark. Let us rise now into the sunlit zone, where one of nature's most spectacular gatherings takes place. Each year, millions of sardines migrate along the coast of South Africa in a phenomenon known as the sardine run. This massive movement of fish, sometimes called the greatest shoal on Earth, can stretch for miles, a silver river flowing through the ocean. The sardines move in perfect coordination, each fish responding to the movements of its neighbors in a fluid dance that confounds predators and mesmerizes observers. But they do not travel alone. The sardine run attracts one of the greatest concentrations of predators anywhere on the planet. Dolphins work in teams, herding the sardines into tight bait balls. Sharks circle and strike. Gannets and other seabirds plunge from the sky like arrows, diving deep beneath the surface. Whales rise from below, mouths agape. Even Cape Fur seals join the feast. It's a feeding frenzy of epic proportions, a reminder that the ocean is a place of both abundance and constant transformation, where life gives way to life in an endless cycle. Among the coral gardens, there exists a relationship so vital that without it, the reefs themselves would cease to exist. Coral polyps, the tiny animals that build the reef, have formed a partnership with microscopic algae called zooxanthellae. These algae live within the coral's tissues, using sunlight to produce sugars through photosynthesis. The coral provides the algae with a protected home and the compounds they need for photosynthesis, while the algae provide up to 90% of the coral's energy. It's a partnership so intimate that neither can truly thrive without the other, a marriage between animal and plant kingdom that has endured for millions of years. This delicate balance makes coral vulnerable to changes in their environment. When water temperatures rise even a few degrees, the stressed corals expel their algae partners, losing their color and their primary source of food, a phenomenon called coral bleaching. The corals turn ghostly white, beautiful in a haunting way, but dying slowly without their partners. It's a stark reminder that the ocean's wonders are not indestructible, that they depend on conditions remaining within the narrow ranges where these ancient partnerships can flourish. But life in the ocean is nothing if not creative. The pistol shrimp, a creature barely 2 inches long, possesses one of nature's most remarkable weapons. This tiny crustacean has one claw that's significantly larger than the other, and it can snap this claw shut so quickly that it creates a bubble traveling at speeds up to 60 miles per hour. When this bubble collapses, it produces a sound louder than a gunshot, reaching 210 decibels, and generates a flash of light lasting less than a billionth of a second, with temperatures briefly reaching nearly as hot as the surface of the sun. Yes, you heard that correctly. This small shrimp creates temperatures of about 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit with the snap of its claw, hotter than molten lava, approaching the heat of the sun's surface. This snapping stuns or kills small fish and other prey, and in areas where pistol shrimp are abundant, their collective snapping creates a constant crackling sound that can interfere with submarine sonar. An entire orchestra of tiny shrimp, each one wielding the power of a miniature star, dwelling in the shallows and crevices of the reef. Drifting through open waters, we might encounter one of the ocean's most mesmerizing creatures, the jellyfish. These ancient animals have existed for more than 500 million years, long before fish swam the seas, long before the first creatures crawled onto land. They are among Earth's oldest survivors, and their simple body plan, 95% water, with no brain, no heart, no bones, has proven remarkably successful across the ages. Some jellyfish are so transparent they're nearly invisible. Others glow with bioluminescent light. Some trail tentacles longer than a blue whale. One species of jellyfish has achieved something that borders on biological immortality. The Turritopsis dohrnii, sometimes called the immortal jellyfish, can reverse its aging process. When faced with physical damage, starvation, or other stress, it can transform its adult cells back into an immature state, essentially returning to its polyp form to begin life again. It's as if a butterfly could transform back into a caterpillar, or an adult human could return to childhood. While individual immortal jellyfish can still be killed by predators or disease, theoretically, without such threats, they could live forever, cycling endlessly between youth and maturity. In the cold waters of the North Pacific, another ancient mariner glides through the kelp. The Pacific sleeper shark, a species that can live for over 400 years, making it one of the longest-lived vertebrates on Earth. Individuals alive today may have been born before Shakespeare wrote his plays, before the founding of the first permanent European settlements in North America. These sharks grow incredibly slowly, perhaps only a centimeter per year, reaching maturity only after 150 years of life. They drift through the deep like living history books, their tissues recording centuries of ocean conditions, their existence spanning empires and epochs. Imagine a shark born in the early 1600s, swimming through waters untouched by industrial fishing, through centuries of change, witnessing the transformation of our oceans in ways we can barely comprehend. What has this ancient animal seen? What changes have these patient creatures observed? They remind us that the ocean operates on timescales beyond human reckoning, that some lives unfold over centuries while ours flicker past in decades. Yet life in the ocean is not only about ancient survivors and patient giants. There is also speed, agility, and remarkable athleticism. The sailfish, fastest of all ocean fish, can reach speeds of 68 miles per hour in short bursts, faster than a cheetah on land. Its streamlined body, topped by a magnificent dorsal fin that can be raised or lowered like a sail, cuts through the water with minimal resistance. When hunting, sailfish work cooperatively, taking turns to slash through schools of fish with their long, sharp bills, stunning prey that the group will share. Watch a sailfish hunt and you witness perfection in motion, muscles rippling beneath iridescent skin, colors shifting from blue to silver as signals to other hunters, movements so precise and powerful they seem almost unreal. This is speed refined by millions of years of evolution, every detail of the body optimized for the singular purpose of moving through water faster than almost any other creature alive. The ocean teaches us about extremes, the oldest, the fastest, the deepest, the strangest. But it also teaches us about connection, about the threads that link all these wonders together in a vast tapestry of life. Each creature we've encountered is part of a greater whole, dependent on others in ways both obvious and subtle. As we move forward through our journey, we'll discover even more about these connections, about the partnerships and competitions, the migrations and transformations that make the ocean not just a habitat, but a living, breathing entity in its own right. Let us turn our attention now to one of the ocean's most devoted parents. The emperor penguin, that tuxedoed resident of Antarctic ice, undertakes one of nature's most remarkable acts of parental dedication. In the heart of the Antarctic winter, when temperatures plummet to -40 degrees Fahrenheit and below, male emperor penguins cradle a single egg on their feet, tucked beneath a warm fold of skin called a brood pouch. For more than 2 months, 64 days without eating, these fathers stand together in massive huddles, enduring the harshest conditions on Earth while their mates travel to the sea to feed. During this time, the males can lose up to half their body weight, surviving on fat reserves while fierce winds howl across the ice. They take turns moving to the center of the huddle, where it's warmest, then rotating back to the outside, sharing the burden equally. When the chicks finally hatch, the fathers feed them with a special secretion from their throat until the mothers return. It's a level of sacrifice and cooperation that speaks to something profound about life's determination to continue, even in the most unforgiving places. Beneath the waves where these penguins hunt, they become different creatures entirely. On ice, they waddle awkwardly, almost comically. In water, they transform into torpedoes of precision and grace, capable of diving to depths of over 1,800 feet, deeper than the Empire State Building is tall, and holding their breath for more than 20 minutes. Their bodies are perfectly adapted for these deep dives, solid bones that resist the pressure, hemoglobin that stores extra oxygen, and the ability to slow their heart rate to conserve energy in the cold, dark depths where they hunt for fish and krill. In warmer tropical waters, there exists a fish with an ability that seems almost magical. The mimic octopus, actually a species discovered only in 1998, can impersonate not just 1 or 2 other animals, but more than 15 different species. It can flatten itself to resemble a poisonous soul gliding across the seafloor. It can extend 6 of its arms backward while swimming with the other 2 forward, imitating the striped pattern and swimming motion of a venomous lionfish. It can tuck all but 2 arms into its body and wave those remaining arms to mimic a sea snake. What makes this even more remarkable is that the mimic octopus doesn't simply choose these disguises at random. It appears to assess which predator is approaching and selects the most appropriate defense. Threatened by a damselfish? Become a sea snake, which preys on damselfish. Approached by something else? Transform into a different creature entirely. This isn't mere camouflage, it's intelligent, adaptive deception, a performance that requires the octopus to understand not only what it can become, but what its enemies fear most. The ocean floor itself tells stories, if we know how to read them. In some parts of the deep sea, the sediment accumulates at a rate of just 1 centimeter every 1,000 years. That means a layer of mud 6 inches thick represents 15,000 years of history, longer than all of recorded human civilization. The seafloor is a timeline written in minerals and microscopic shells, in volcanic dust from eruptions long forgotten, in meteorite particles from space. To disturb this sediment is to erase history that formed while mammoths still walked the earth. Rising back towards sunlit waters, we encounter a creature whose impact on the ocean ecosystem far exceeds its small size. Krill, tiny crustaceans that swarm in numbers difficult to comprehend, form the foundation of the Antarctic food web. The total weight of Antarctic krill is estimated at around 500 million tons, making their collective biomass greater than that of all humans on Earth. These small animals, each no longer than your little finger, support the largest animals ever to exist, the great whales that filter millions of them from the water each day. A single swarm of krill can contain up to 30,000 individuals in a single cubic meter of water, and these swarms can stretch for kilometers. They glow with bioluminescence, turning the Antarctic waters into a shimmering, living galaxy. Without krill, the Antarctic ecosystem would collapse. Penguins would starve. Seals would vanish. Whales would have nowhere to feed. This tiny creature, easily overlooked, holds up an entire world. Speaking of breathing, consider the sperm whale, the largest toothed predator on Earth. These magnificent animals are capable of the deepest dives of any mammal, plunging to depths exceeding 7,000 feet in search of their preferred prey, giant squid. They can hold their breath for up to 90 minutes, their bodies adapted in remarkable ways to withstand the crushing pressure and oxygen deprivation of the deep. Their ribs are flexible, allowing their lungs to collapse completely during deep dives, preventing nitrogen from dissolving in their blood and causing the bends. During these dives, a sperm whale enters a world of perpetual darkness, navigating by echolocation alone. They produce the loudest sounds of any animal on Earth, clicks that can reach 230 decibels, louder than a jet engine at takeoff. These clicks travel through the water, bouncing off squid and other prey, painting a sonic picture of the world around them. The whale's massive head, which makes up a third of its body length, contains spermaceti oil, a substance that may help focus these sound waves like an acoustic lens, allowing the whale to see with sound in ways we can barely imagine. Near coral reefs and seagrass beds, we find an animal whose very existence seems improbable. The seahorse, with its horse-like head, prehensile tail, and upright posture, looks more like a chess piece than a fish. Yet seahorses are indeed fish, though they've evolved in ways that set them apart from almost all their relatives. They have no stomach, so they must eat constantly, sucking up tiny crustaceans through their elongated snouts like living pipettes. They swim upright, propelled by the rapid flutter of a single dorsal fin that can beat up to 35 times per second. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about seahorses is their approach to reproduction. Male seahorses become pregnant, carrying fertilized eggs in a specialized pouch on their abdomen. The female deposits her eggs into the male's pouch, where he fertilizes them and provides them with oxygen and nutrients for several weeks. When the young are ready, the male goes through contractions, yes, contractions, to release hundreds of tiny, fully formed seahorses into the water. It's one of nature's most extraordinary role reversals, a reminder that life finds countless ways to continue, each as valid and remarkable as the next. In the ocean's middle depths, there drifts a creature that challenges our understanding of what an animal can be. The Portuguese man-o'-war, often mistaken for a jellyfish, is actually a colonial organism, a floating city of specialized polyps working together as one. Each polyp has a specific role. Some form the gas-filled bladder that keeps the colony afloat. Others trail tentacles that can extend 165 feet below the surface to capture prey. Still others digest food or handle reproduction. They cannot survive independently. They exist only as a collective, a single entity made of thousands of individuals. The man-o'-war's tentacles are armed with venom-filled cells that fire harpoon-like structures into anything that touches them. The sting is excruciating to humans, and the tentacles can deliver their venom even when detached from the main body, even after the creature is dead. Yet some animals have learned to coexist with this danger. The man-o'-war fish swims among the tentacles with impunity, protected by a coating of mucus, finding shelter in the shadow of a creature that would kill almost anything else. The ocean is full of such partnerships, such unexpected alliances. Cleaner fish that set up stations where larger fish come to have parasites removed. Anemones and clownfish that protect each other. Remoras that attach to sharks and whales, getting free transportation while cleaning their hosts of parasites. Each relationship speaks to the deep interconnectedness of ocean life, the ways in which even the strangest pairings can find mutual benefit. We are halfway through our journey now, having touched on just 50 of the ocean's countless wonders. Each fact we've explored opens doors to a dozen more questions. Each creature we've met represents thousands of others with their own remarkable stories. The ocean's depths still hold mysteries we've never imagined, partnerships we've yet to discover, and lessons we've only begun to learn. And so we continue, diving deeper into the blue, exploring the connections that bind this vast ecosystem together, remembering that each wonder we witness is a gift, a glimpse into a world that existed long before us and will, if we protect it, endure long after. In the darkness of the deep ocean, there exists a phenomenon so beautiful it seems conjured from fantasy. Bioluminescent waves that glow blue-green as they break upon the shore, leaving trails of light with every movement. This magical display is created by dinoflagellates, microscopic organisms that produce light when disturbed. Each one is smaller than a grain of sand, yet when billions gather near the surface, they transform the ocean into liquid starlight. Run your hand through the water and watch galaxies swirl in your wake. Walk along the beach and leave glowing footprints behind you. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest beings create the most spectacular beauty. But why do these tiny organisms glow? Scientists believe the light serves as a burglar alarm of sorts. When a dinoflagellate is disturbed by a predator, its flash of light may startle the attacker or attract even larger predators to the scene, giving the dinoflagellate a chance to escape in the confusion. A single microscopic creature, using light as both warning and weapon, orchestrating a defense that illuminates entire coastlines. Far from shore, in the open ocean, we find a fish that has barely changed in 400 million years. The coelacanth, once thought to have gone extinct with the dinosaurs 66 million years ago, was rediscovered alive in 1938 off the coast of South Africa, a moment that shocked the scientific world. These living fossils can grow to 6 feet in length and weigh up to 200 pounds. They have fleshy, lobed fins that move in an alternating pattern, almost like legs, providing a glimpse of how ancient fish may have first ventured onto land. The coelacanth lives slowly, in every sense. Females don't reach sexual maturity until around 55 years of age, and their pregnancy lasts 5 years, the longest gestation period of any vertebrate. 5 years. Longer than an elephant's pregnancy, longer than a sperm whale's. The young develop inside the mother's body, born live rather than hatched from eggs. These ancient fish remind us that evolution doesn't always mean change. Sometimes perfection means staying the same while the world transforms around you. Near the ocean's surface, we encounter a traveler that defies our understanding of navigation. The sea turtle hatchling, emerging from its egg buried in beach sand, immediately begins one of the most perilous journeys imaginable. These tiny creatures, weighing just an ounce and measuring only 2 inches long, must crawl across the beach to the ocean, a journey where seabirds and crabs pick off many of their siblings. Those that reach the water enter what scientists call the lost years, a period where young sea turtles disappear into the open ocean for 5 to 10 years. Where do they go during these lost years? How do they survive? For decades, this remained one of the ocean's great mysteries. We now know they drift with currents, often riding the same Gulf Stream we discussed earlier, growing slowly while feeding on jellyfish and small invertebrates. But here's what's truly extraordinary. Out of 1,000 sea turtle hatchlings that enter the ocean, only 1 or 2 will survive to adulthood. Yet those that do will live for 50, 60, even 80 years or more, eventually returning to that same beach where they were born to lay their own eggs. Against impossible odds, they endure. In the cold waters of the Arctic and Antarctic, there lives a seal with a voice that carries through the ice. The Weddell seal produces some of the most complex vocalizations of any seal species: trills, chirps, whistles, and eerie descending calls that sound almost alien. These calls can travel for dozens of miles beneath the ice, and they're loud. Underwater, a Weddell seal's call can reach 110 decibels. These vocalizations serve multiple purposes: communication, territory defense, and possibly echolocation to find breathing holes in the ice above. But what makes Weddell seals truly remarkable is their ability to survive in an environment that would kill most mammals within minutes. They can dive the depths of 2,000 feet and stay underwater for up to 82 minutes, longer than any other seal species. During these extended dives, their heart rate drops from 100 beats per minute to just 20, conserving oxygen while they hunt for fish beneath the ice. In a world of frozen water and crushing pressure, they've not merely survived, they've thrived. Drifting now through the twilight zone, we might encounter one of the ocean's strangest hunters. The anglerfish, particularly the deep-sea varieties, possess a fishing rod of sorts, a modified dorsal spine that extends in front of their face, tipped with a bioluminescent lure. The light is produced by bacteria living in the lure, a partnership where the bacteria get a home and the anglerfish gets a hunting tool. In the pitch darkness, small fish and shrimp are drawn to this light, the only beacon in an endless night, swimming directly into the anglerfish's waiting jaws. But the anglerfish has an even stranger secret. In many species, the males are tiny, sometimes 1/10 the size of the females, and when a male finds a female in the vastness of the deep ocean, he bites into her body and never lets go. His tissues fuse with hers, his bloodstream connecting to hers, until he becomes little more than a permanent sperm-producing appendage. He loses his eyes, his internal organs, becoming entirely dependent on her for survival. It's one of the most extreme forms of sexual parasitism in nature, a relationship born of the deep ocean's emptiness, where finding a mate is so difficult that when you do, you literally become one. Let us return to the coral reef, where relationships take on very different forms. Here we find the cleaner wrasse, a small fish that has established one of the ocean's most successful service industries. These enterprising fish set up cleaning stations on the reef, and larger fish, even predators that could easily eat them, line up to be serviced. The cleaner wrasse removes parasites, dead skin, and other debris from the larger fish, even swimming into their mouths and gills to perform their work. What's remarkable is that the larger fish clearly understand what's happening. They'll open their mouths wide and hold perfectly still, allowing the tiny cleaner to work safely. Some will even change color to signal they're ready for cleaning. This relationship is so important that studies have shown cleaner wrasse interact with up to 2,000 different fish clients per day, and their presence increases the health and diversity of the reef community. It's a partnership based on trust, the predator trusting it won't harm the cleaner trusting it won't become a meal. In the open ocean, far from any reef or coast, there occurs a gathering of such magnitude that it can be seen from space. The Sargasso Sea, in the North Atlantic, is the only sea on Earth without a land boundary, defined instead by currents that circle it like a fence. Within this gyre accumulates a vast floating ecosystem of sargassum seaweed, golden brown algae that provide habitat for hundreds of species found nowhere else on Earth. Sea turtles nest in it, flying fish spawn in it, juvenile fish hide in it. This floating forest covers an area roughly the size of the continental United States. The Sargasso Sea shows us something profound. The ocean creates its own continents, its own forests, its own nations defined not by land but by water itself. Yet this same gyre that concentrates seaweed also concentrates something else, plastic and other debris, creating what's known as the North Atlantic Garbage Patch. Even in this remote place, human impact is felt. The ocean's currents, which have created such wondrous ecosystems, now also gather our waste, a sobering reminder that the ocean, for all its vastness, is not infinite. But let us not end on sorrow. Instead, let us marvel at the ocean's resilience, its ability to surprise us, to adapt, to endure. Every creature we've encountered, every relationship we've witnessed, speaks to life's extraordinary creativity and persistence. The ocean has weathered ice ages and warm periods, meteor strikes and volcanic eruptions, and through it all, life has continued, evolved, and flourished. We've journeyed now through 60 wonders, from the surface to the abyss, from the poles to the tropics, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales. And still, there are 40 more wonders to discover, 40 more stories to tell, 40 more reasons to protect and cherish this blue heart of our planet. Let us witness now one of the ocean's most breathtaking displays of athleticism. The humpback whale, those gentle giants that migrate thousands of miles between feeding and breeding grounds, possess a hunting technique so sophisticated it seems almost planned. When pursuing schools of fish or krill, groups of humpback whales engage in what's called bubble net feeding. Working in coordinated teams, they swim in circles below their prey, exhaling streams of bubbles that rise to form a cylindrical net. The fish, unable or unwilling to cross this curtain of bubbles, cluster tightly together. Then, in perfect synchronization, the whales surge upward through the center with mouths wide open, consuming thousands of fish in a single gulp. What makes this even more remarkable is that this behavior is learned, not instinctive. Young whales must observe and practice the technique, and different populations have developed their own variations, dialects of hunting, if you will. Some groups vocalize specific feeding calls to coordinate their movements. Others spiral in opposite directions to tighten the net. It's cooperation on a grand scale, proof that these massive creatures possess not just intelligence, but culture. Beneath the sand of shallow coastal waters lives a creature that seems more machine than animal. The mantis shrimp, though it rarely grows longer than a few inches, possesses what may be the most powerful punch in the animal kingdom relative to its size. This small crustacean can accelerate its club-like appendage at speeds of 50 miles per hour, comparable to a bullet fired from a gun. The strike is so fast that it creates cavitation bubbles in the water, tiny pockets of vacuum that collapse with such force they produce light and heat. The mantis shrimp essentially punches so hard it creates miniature explosions. The force of this strike is powerful enough to shatter aquarium glass and split apart the shells of crabs, clams, and other prey. But the mantis shrimp is remarkable for another reason. It has the most complex eyes of any animal on Earth, with 16 types of color receptors compared to our mere 3. They can see colors we can't even imagine, including ultraviolet and polarized light. To a mantis shrimp, the ocean must appear in hues and patterns completely invisible to human perception, a world of color beyond our comprehension. In the deepest parts of the ocean, where no plant has ever grown and sunlight has never reached, there exists a kind of rain. Scientists call it marine snow, a continuous shower of organic material falling from the surface waters above. Dead plankton, fecal matter, mucus, dust, and the bodies of larger animals all drift slowly downward through miles of water, taking weeks or even months to reach the seafloor. This marine snow is the primary food source for creatures living in the abyss, a constant gentle precipitation that sustains entire ecosystems in complete darkness. Think of it, the surface world feeding the deep, a connection between realms that seem utterly separate. Every whale that dies and sinks, every bloom of plankton that exhausts itself, every fragment of life becomes part of this downward journey. The deep sea is fed by the surface world's abundance, a reminder that even in the ocean's most remote corners, nothing exists in isolation. What happens in the sunlit zone ripples down through the water column, eventually reaching even the deepest trenches. Rising back toward the light, we encounter a fish that challenges our very definition of what it means to have a gender. The clownfish, made famous by animation but remarkable in its own right, lives its entire life among the stinging tentacles of sea anemones. But here's what's extraordinary: all clownfish are born male, and they live in small groups dominated by a single breeding pair. The largest fish in the group is always female. When she dies, something remarkable happens. The dominant male transforms into a female, changing sex completely. His body restructures itself, his organs shift, and he becomes she, taking over as the breeding female of the group. This transformation isn't subtle or partial, it's complete and irreversible. The clownfish that was once male is now fully female, capable of producing eggs. The next largest male in the group then becomes the new breeding male. It's a system that ensures the survival of the group regardless of which members are lost, a biological insurance policy that demonstrates how fluid and adaptive life can be when survival demands it. Now consider the salmon, born in freshwater streams, who spend their adult lives in the ocean before returning to those same streams to spawn. These fish undertake one of nature's most arduous journeys, swimming upstream against powerful currents, leaping up waterfalls, navigating obstacles that would exhaust most creatures. Pacific salmon can travel up to 2,400 miles from the ocean back to their natal streams, using their sense of smell to identify the unique chemical signature of the water where they were born. After years at sea, they can find their home stream among thousands of possibilities, guided by memories encoded in their very cells. But here's what makes the salmon's journey truly profound. For most Pacific salmon species, it's a one-way trip. They spawn once and then die, their bodies decomposing in the streams where they were born. This isn't tragic, it's essential. The nutrients from their bodies fertilize the ecosystem, feeding the very stream that will nurture their offspring. Bears, eagles, and other predators feast on the salmon, carrying nutrients deep into the surrounding forests. Scientists have found that nitrogen from salmon bodies can be detected in trees hundreds of yards from the stream. The salmon's death becomes life for countless other organisms, a final gift to the world that created them. In the ocean's middle depths, there exists a fish so transparent you can see right through it. The barrel-eye fish, or Macropina microstoma, has a dome-shaped, transparent head filled with fluid, through which you can observe its tubular eyes pointing upward. For decades, scientists thought these eyes were fixed in place, able only to look up toward the faint light filtering from above. But in 2004, researchers discovered something astonishing. The barrel eye can actually rotate its eyes within its transparent head, allowing it to look forward when needed, then return them to the upward position. This transparent dome isn't just a curiosity, it's a precision instrument. The fluid-filled shield protects the fish's sensitive eyes from the stinging cells of jellyfish, whose tentacles the barrel eye sometimes steals food from. The upward-pointing eyes allow it to detect the silhouettes of prey above, while the ability to rotate them forward lets it see what it's eating. It's a solution so unusual, so perfectly adapted to its specific lifestyle, that it seems almost designed rather than evolved. Yet this strange fish has been living in the deep ocean for millions of years, a reminder that evolution produces solutions we would never anticipate. Returning to the surface waters, we find evidence of one of the ocean's most sophisticated social structures. Orcas, or killer whales, live in stable family groups called pods that can span multiple generations. A pod may include grandmothers, mothers, daughters, and sons, all maintaining relationships throughout their lives, which can extend to 90 years for females and 60 years for males. Each pod has its own dialect, a unique set of calls that identify its members to each other and distinguish them from other pods. But orcas go beyond simple family structures. Different populations have developed entirely different cultures, different hunting techniques passed down through generations. Some orcas specialize in hunting salmon, others in seals, and still others in other whales. The hunting strategies for each prey type are complex and learned. Young orcas spend years observing and practicing before mastering their pods techniques. Some populations intentionally beach themselves to catch seals, then wiggle back into the water, a dangerous maneuver that must be taught carefully to youngsters. Orcas have culture, language, tradition, and knowledge that spans generations, making them among the most socially complex animals on Earth. As we near the 2/3 mark of our journey, patterns begin to emerge. We see intelligence woven throughout the ocean, not the intelligence of tool use and technology that humans prize, but equally valid forms: the collective intelligence of coral reefs, the acoustic intelligence of whales, the adaptive intelligence of octopuses, the social intelligence of dolphins. We see sacrifice and cooperation, competition and symbiosis, all playing out in a vast blue arena that has hosted life for over 3 billion years. The ocean has taught our species so much, and yet it holds so much more to teach. Each discovery opens new questions, each answer reveals new mysteries. As we continue our journey through these 100 wonders, we move closer to understanding not just the ocean, but our place within it, our connection to this ancient, powerful, life-giving force. In the cold, dark waters of the Antarctic, there lives a fish that defies one of nature's most fundamental rules. The Antarctic icefish has no hemoglobin in its blood, no red blood cells at all. Its blood runs clear, like water tinged with the faintest hint of color. In any other environment, this would be a death sentence, as hemoglobin is what allows blood to carry oxygen throughout the body. But in the frigid Antarctic waters, where temperatures hover just above freezing, oxygen dissolves more readily into liquid. The icefish has adapted by developing a larger heart, greater blood volume, and blood vessels so wide that oxygen can dissolve directly into the plasma and reach every cell in its body. This extraordinary adaptation allows the icefish to thrive in waters that would be challenging for most fish. Their blood may be clear, but it's perfectly suited to their environment, a reminder that life doesn't always follow the rules we expect. In the Antarctic stable, cold waters, this fish has found a completely different solution to the problem of oxygen transport, one that no other vertebrate has discovered. Far from these polar waters, in the warm seas of the Indo-Pacific, a small fish demonstrates engineering prowess that would impress any architect. The male white-spotted pufferfish, no more than 5 inches long, creates elaborate circular structures on the sandy seafloor that can span 7 feet in diameter. Working tirelessly for over a week, the male pufferfish uses his fins to carve intricate geometric patterns into the sand, ridges radiating from a central point like the petals of a flower, creating what scientists call mystery circles. These aren't random patterns. The ridges are precisely spaced and shaped to direct ocean currents, creating a calm area in the center where the female can safely lay her eggs. The design also helps fine sand accumulate in specific patterns that indicate the quality of the construction to potential mates. This tiny fish is simultaneously artist, engineer, and architect, creating structures of remarkable complexity and beauty for the singular purpose of attracting a mate and protecting offspring. When scientists first discovered these patterns in the 1990s, they had no idea what created them. The circles seemed too perfect, too intentional to be made by a small fish. In the shallow coastal waters, we encounter a creature that seems to operate by completely different rules than other fish. The mudskipper is a fish that has partially returned to land, spending much of its time out of water, hopping across mudflats on its modified pectoral fins. These remarkable fish can breathe air, storing water in their gill chambers and absorbing oxygen through their wet skin and the lining of their mouth and throat. They can survive out of water for days if they stay moist, hunting insects and small crustaceans in the intertidal zone. But what's truly fascinating is how mudskippers see the world. Their eyes protrude from the top of their heads, allowing them to see both above and below the water simultaneously. When threatened, they can pull their eyes down into their sockets and roll them around to keep them moist, essentially blinking by rotating their eyeballs inside their heads. These fish represent an evolutionary path not taken by most others, a glimpse of what might have happened if more fish had chosen to explore the boundary between sea and land. Beneath the ocean floor itself, deep within the Earth's crust, scientists have discovered something that challenges our understanding of where life can exist. Microbes living in rocks and sediments as much as 1.5 miles below the seafloor, in conditions of extreme pressure, complete darkness, and temperatures that can exceed 250 degrees Fahrenheit. These organisms live extraordinarily slowly. Some may divide only once every 1,000 years or even longer. They survive on chemical energy from the rocks themselves, having no connection whatsoever to the sun-powered world above. The biomass of these deep biosphere organisms rivals that of all life in the ocean above. Beneath the seafloor lies an entire shadow ecosystem, a world we only recently discovered, where time moves at a geological pace and life persists in conditions we once thought impossible. These microbes may be some of the oldest individual organisms on Earth, single cells that have been alive for millions of years, witnesses to epochs of planetary change, surviving in patient stillness while the world above transforms. Rising back to the ocean's surface, we witness one of nature's most spectacular leaps. The spinner dolphin, true to its name, can launch itself as high as 10 feet out of the water while spinning up to 7 times along its longitudinal axis before splashing back down. This acrobatic display, spinning like a torpedo through the air, serves multiple purposes: communication with other dolphins, removing parasites, and possibly pure exuberance in play. The physics involved are remarkable. The dolphin must generate enormous thrust to achieve both the height and rotational speed, coordinating its movements with precision timing. Watch a pod of spinner dolphins and you witness what can only be called joy. Dozens of animals leaping and spinning in seemingly choreographed sequences, their movements perfectly timed to the rhythm of the waves. Scientists debate whether animals experience emotion as we do, but observing spinner dolphins at play makes such debates feel academic. Whether we call it joy or something else, these dolphins are clearly doing more than just surviving. They're celebrating life in the ocean's embrace. In the depths of the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans, there swims a shark that may hold the record for the longest-lived vertebrate on Earth. The Greenland shark grows incredibly slowly, less than half an inch per year, and can live for at least 400 years, with some individuals possibly exceeding 500 years. A Greenland shark alive today may have been born during the Renaissance, swimming through waters when Galileo still observed the stars, when the Taj Mahal was being built, when the first colonists arrived in the Americas. These sharks don't even reach sexual maturity until they're around 150 years old. Imagine a century and a half before a Greenland shark can reproduce, a period longer than most nations have existed, longer than any living human will survive. They drift through the cold darkness, growing imperceptibly, hunting fish and seals in slow motion, their metabolism tuned to the frigid temperatures of their Arctic home. They are living history, their tissues recording centuries of ocean conditions, chemical signatures from eras we only know through books and artifacts. In the tropical seas, parrotfish bring color and sound to the reef with their remarkable lifestyle. These fish, named for their fused teeth that form a beak-like structure, spend their days scraping algae from coral and rocks. But they don't just eat the algae, they consume the rock itself, grinding it down with a second set of teeth in their throat. After extracting the organic material, they excrete the ground-up rock as fine sand. A single large parrotfish can produce up to 1,000 pounds of sand per year. This means that much of the beautiful white sand on tropical beaches, the sand you walk on during beach vacations, the sand that makes tropical islands so picturesque, is actually parrotfish poop. These colorful fish are literally creating beaches, grain by grain, year after year. But they provide another crucial service. By eating algae off the coral, they prevent the algae from overgrowing and smothering the reef. Without parrotfish, many coral reefs would be overwhelmed by algae and die. These vibrant, noisy fish, you can often hear them crunching coral from quite a distance, are among the reef's most important gardeners. Finally, let us consider the vampire squid, a creature whose name suggests horror but whose reality is far stranger and more peaceful. Despite its fearsome name and appearance, blood-red body, cape-like webbing between its arms, eyes that glow blue in the light, the vampire squid is not a predator but a gentle drifter of the deep. It lives in the oxygen minimum zone, where oxygen levels are so low that most animals cannot survive. Here, in this harsh environment, the vampire squid has evolved the lowest metabolic rate of any cephalopod, allowing it to survive on minimal oxygen and minimal food. Rather than hunting living prey, the vampire squid feeds on marine snow, those same particles we discussed earlier, drifting down from above. It extends two long filaments, covered in sticky cells, to collect these particles, then draws the filaments through its arms to harvest the food. In moments of threat, it can turn itself inside out, wrapping its cape-like webbing over its body and exposing defensive spines. It can also produce glowing clouds of bioluminescent mucus that hang in the water, confusing predators while the squid slips away into darkness. In the low oxygen twilight of the deep sea, the vampire squid has found a way to thrive by doing almost nothing, by living slowly and quietly in a realm where most creatures cannot venture. We are now more than 2/3 through our journey, having explored 78 of the ocean's wonders. From fish with clear blood to dolphins that spin through the air, from sharks that outlive empires to squid that turn themselves inside out, the ocean continues to amaze us with life's infinite creativity. Each adaptation we've witnessed represents millions of years of trial and error, of species refining their strategies for survival in this vast blue realm. As we approach the final portions of our journey, we'll discover even more ways that ocean life surprises, adapts, and thrives. The wonders continue, each one a testament to the ocean's role as the birthplace and sustainer of life on our blue planet. In the vast expanse of the open ocean, there exists a nursery unlike any other. The Sargasso Sea, which we visited earlier, serves as the sole breeding ground for all Atlantic eels, both American and European. These remarkable fish are born in this mid-Atlantic gyre, tiny transparent larvae no bigger than a willow leaf. From here, they begin one of the animal kingdom's most mysterious migrations. European eels drift with the currents for up to 3 years, traveling over 4,000 miles to reach the coasts of Europe and North Africa. American eels make a shorter journey of about a year to North American shores. Once they reach coastal waters, these eels transform, developing pigmentation and the ability to swim against currents. They ascend rivers and streams, sometimes traveling hundreds of miles inland, where they may live for decades in freshwater before something calls them back. When maturity finally arrives, sometimes after 20 years or more for females, they return to the ocean, swim thousands of miles back to the exact region of the Sargasso Sea where they were born, spawn once, and die. How they navigate across vast oceans to find a specific area of open water with no landmarks, no coastline to follow, remains one of marine biology's great unsolved mysteries. In the coral reefs of the Indo-Pacific, there lives a fish that seems to have stepped out of a fairy tale. The mandarin fish, barely 3 inches long, displays colors so vivid and psychedelic they seem almost artificial: electric blues, vibrant oranges, swirling greens, all arranged in intricate patterns unique to each individual. But what makes these colors truly extraordinary is that they're not produced by pigments in the conventional sense. The blue coloration comes from cellular crystals that reflect light, making the mandarin fish one of only 2 known vertebrates to display true blue coloration through structural means rather than pigments. These tiny fish are also covered in a thick, smelly mucus that makes them unpalatable to predators. Their brilliant colors serve as a warning of their foul taste. At dusk, pairs of mandarin fish engage in an elaborate courtship dance, rising together from the reef in a spiraling embrace, releasing eggs and sperm into the water column before quickly darting back to safety. It's a moment of vulnerability performed with grace and precision, a flash of beauty in the gathering darkness. Beneath the waves, there exists a form of communication so powerful it can literally stun or kill. The electric eel, despite its name actually a type of knife fish rather than a true eel, can generate electrical discharges of up to 860 volts, enough to seriously harm a human and kill small animals. This is accomplished through specialized cells called electrocytes, which work like biological batteries stacked in series. The electric eel can produce 3 types of discharges: low voltage for navigation and communication, medium voltage to stun prey, and high voltage to defend itself or incapacitate larger prey. Scientists have recently discovered something even more remarkable. Electric eels hunt in packs and can coordinate their electrical discharges to overcome larger prey. Multiple eels will surround a school of fish and discharge simultaneously, creating an electrical field strong enough to stun an entire group. It's cooperative hunting using electricity as a weapon, a strategy that requires coordination and communication. The electric eel's ability to generate such powerful charges has inspired research into biobatteries and medical devices, proof that nature's solutions often surpass our engineering. In the open ocean, drifting with currents, there exists a creature so delicate it seems impossible. The sea butterfly, or pteropod, is a tiny sea snail that has evolved to swim through open water rather than crawl along the bottom. Its foot is transformed into wing-like appendages that it flaps to move through the water, appearing to fly through the liquid realm. These graceful creatures, most smaller than a pea, form massive swarms in polar and temperate waters, becoming a crucial food source for everything from small fish to great whales. But sea butterflies face a growing threat. Their shells are made of aragonite, a form of calcium carbonate that is particularly vulnerable to ocean acidification. As the ocean absorbs more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, the water becomes more acidic, making it difficult for these creatures to build and maintain their shells. In some areas, scientists have already observed sea butterflies with dissolving shells, their protective armor literally corroding away. These tiny, beautiful creatures serve as canaries in the coal mine, early indicators of changes rippling through the entire marine ecosystem. Along the coasts during certain times of year, a mysterious phenomenon unfolds beneath the full moon. Corals, those stationary animals we discussed earlier, engage in one of nature's most spectacular synchronized events. On specific nights, determined by water temperature, moon phase, and other environmental cues, entire reefs of coral release their eggs and sperm simultaneously in an event called coral spawning. The water becomes thick with billions of tiny bundles, creating an underwater blizzard of pink, orange, and white particles that can last for hours. The timing must be perfect. If corals spawned randomly throughout the year, the vast ocean would dilute their reproductive cells so much that fertilization would rarely occur. But by releasing everything at once, they overwhelm the water with their genetic material, ensuring that eggs and sperm find each other. This synchronization extends across entire reef systems. Corals hundreds of miles apart somehow know to spawn on the same night, responding to signals we're only beginning to understand. It's one of the ocean's greatest displays of coordination, millions of individual polyps acting as one. In the cold waters of the North Atlantic, we find evidence of one of the ocean's most devoted partnerships. The Atlantic puffin, with its colorful beak and tuxedo-like plumage, forms pair bonds that can last for decades. These seabirds return to the same burrow on the same island year after year, reuniting with the same mate. When greeting each other after months apart at sea, puffin pairs engage in an elaborate ritual, rubbing their beaks together, a behavior called billing, reaffirming their bond before another breeding season. What's remarkable is the fidelity puffins show not just to their mates but to their nesting sites. Some burrows have been used continuously for generations, passed down like family homes. The puffins dig and maintain these burrows in cliff faces and grassy slopes, creating elaborate underground chambers where a single egg is laid and carefully tended by both parents. They may spend 8 months of the year alone at sea, bobbing on waves through storms and calm, but when spring arrives, they always return to the same island, the same burrow, the same partner, driven by instincts we perceive as devotion. In the deepest parts of the ocean floor, scientists have discovered structures that challenge our understanding of life's origins. Hydrothermal chimneys, some reaching several stories tall, built up over years by mineral deposits from the vents. But in 2000, researchers discovered a different kind of chimney in the Atlantic, the Lost City Hydrothermal Field, where towering white spires rise up to 200 feet from the seafloor, created not by volcanic activity but by chemical reactions between seawater and the rocks of the Earth's mantle. These chimneys produce alkaline fluids and hydrogen gas through a process called serpentinization, the same process that may have given rise to the very first life on Earth billions of years ago. Some scientists believe that environments like Lost City, with their chemical gradients and mineral surfaces, provided the perfect conditions for the first simple organic molecules to assemble into something we might call alive. If this hypothesis is correct, then these towering white chimneys are not just geological curiosities, they're windows into life's origin story, examples of the very conditions that may have transformed chemistry into biology. Finally, let us consider the ingenious coconut octopus, a species that demonstrates not just tool use, but planning and foresight. This small octopus, found in the tropical waters of the Indo-Pacific, does something remarkable. It collects coconut shells, clam shells, and other discarded objects from the seafloor, carries them awkwardly while walking on its tentacles, and later assembles them into protective shelters. Scientists have observed coconut octopuses carrying shells for considerable distances, an energetically costly behavior that only makes sense if the octopus is planning for future use. What's extraordinary is that the octopus shows clear intent. It will sort through various shells, apparently evaluating them for size and condition before selecting the best ones. It will then carry these shells, sometimes stacking one inside another like nesting dolls, until it finds a suitable location to assemble them into a shelter. This is an instinct. It's problem-solving, planning, and delayed gratification. The coconut octopus proves that intelligence in the ocean takes many forms, that a creature with a lifespan of only a year or two can still demonstrate behaviors we once thought required larger brains and longer lives to develop. We have journeyed now through 86 wonders, each one a window into the ocean's endless creativity. From eels that navigate thousands of miles to return home, to octopuses that plan for the future, from coral reefs that synchronize across vast distances to chimneys that may hold the secret to life's origins, the ocean continues to reveal depths of complexity we're only beginning to fathom. Just 14 wonders remain in our journey, and as we approach the end, we carry with us not just facts and figures, but a deepening appreciation for the interconnected web of life that fills our ocean, the blue heart that keeps our entire planet alive. As we approach the end of our journey, Let us begin where perhaps life itself began, in the shallow seas of ancient Earth. Stromatolites, living fossils that still exist today in places like Shark Bay, Australia, are colonies of cyanobacteria that build layered structures of sediment and microbes. These structures have remained virtually unchanged for 3.5 billion years, making them the oldest evidence of life on our planet. The stromatolites growing today use the same process as their ancient ancestors, photosynthesis, the very process they invented, which transformed Earth's atmosphere and made all complex life possible. Touch a stromatolite and you touch a living connection to an Earth so ancient it predates not just all animals, but all complex cells. These humble bacterial mats oxygenated our planet's atmosphere over billions of years, creating the air we breathe. Every breath you take, every oxygen-dependent organism on Earth, owes its existence to these ancient communities. In the ocean's shallow waters, they continue their work, patient as always, a reminder that the grandest changes often come from the smallest agents working across spans of time we can barely comprehend. In the waters of the Pacific, there swims a fish that demonstrates one of nature's most extreme examples of sexual dimorphism. The blanket octopus female can grow up to 6 feet in length with a spectacular cape-like membrane stretching between her arms. The male, however, measures less than an inch, smaller than a walnut. The female is roughly 40,000 times heavier than her male counterpart. It's as if a human woman weighed as much as 3 adult male elephants while her partner remained the size of a mouse. But the male blanket octopus has his own remarkable adaptation. Though he has no immunity to the Portuguese man-o'-war's venom, he deliberately tears off the man-o'-war's tentacles and wields them as weapons, carrying these toxic whips to defend himself against predators. It's tool use of a particularly audacious kind, stealing weapons from one of the ocean's most dangerous creatures and turning them to his own purpose. When he finally finds a female, he transfers his sperm packet to her and then dies, his life's purpose fulfilled. She may live on for years, carrying the genetic legacy of this tiny, brave male. In the perpetual darkness of the deep sea, there exists a fish that uses its own body as a fishing lure in an unexpected way. The stoplight loosejaw, a type of dragonfish, produces bioluminescent light in 2 colors, blue-green light that most deep-sea creatures can see, and red light that most cannot. This fish is one of the few deep-sea species that can both produce and see red light, giving it a private spotlight invisible to its prey. It can illuminate potential meals without alerting them, like a hunter with night vision goggles in a world where no one else can see infrared. The stoplight loosejaw's jaw is so large and so loosely hinged, hence its name, that it can open to an angle of 120 degrees, allowing it to swallow prey nearly as large as itself. In the deep sea where food is scarce, the ability to consume large meals when they're encountered is crucial for survival. This fish has evolved multiple strategies: secret illumination, enormous jaws, and a black stomach lining to prevent bioluminescent prey from shining through and attracting predators, all working together to make it an efficient hunter in the most challenging environment on Earth. Returning to the sunlit waters of coral reefs, we discover that fish have more to teach us about cooperation. The grouper and the moray eel, 2 very different predators, have learned to hunt together. The grouper, a large, bulky fish that hunts in open water, will swim to the lair of a moray eel and perform a distinctive shimmy, essentially a dance, to invite the eel to join a hunting expedition. Together, they're more successful than either would be alone. The grouper chases fish into crevices where the eel can pursue them, while the eel flushes fish out into open water where the grouper can catch them. What's remarkable is the communication involved. The grouper must remember where specific moray eels live, must initiate the interaction with the correct signal, and must coordinate its hunting strategy with a partner from an entirely different species. This is an instinct. It's learned behavior that requires understanding another species' capabilities and intentions. In the ocean, cooperation isn't limited to family groups or even to species. It crosses the boundaries we imagine divide the natural world. Leaping through the waves near coastlines worldwide, we find the spotted dolphin, a species that demonstrates remarkable athletic prowess through a behavior called porpoising. When traveling at high speeds, these dolphins repeatedly leap clear of the water and re-enter with barely a splash. This isn't just for show. Porpoising is actually more energy efficient than swimming underwater at high speeds. By traveling through air instead of water, the dolphin reduces drag significantly. Scientists calculate that porpoising becomes more efficient than swimming once the dolphin reaches speeds of about 12 miles per hour. The dolphin must time each leap perfectly, breaking the surface at the precise angle to minimize splash, arcing through the air in an optimal trajectory, then re-entering the water streamlined and smooth. At high speeds, a spotted dolphin pod appears to fly above the waves, bodies glistening in the sunlight, moving with such grace and precision that physics and biology merge into something that looks like pure joy. They've discovered through evolution what engineers have only recently calculated, that sometimes the fastest path through water involves leaving it behind. In the cold depths of the North Pacific and Arctic Oceans, there exists a whale with a song that carries for thousands of miles. The bowhead whale produces some of the most complex songs in the animal kingdom, with repertoires that change each year. These songs can last for hours, and different populations sing completely different songs. Distinct musical traditions passed down and evolved over generations. But what makes the bowhead truly extraordinary is its lifespan. These whales can live for more than 200 years, making them the longest-lived mammals on Earth. A bowhead whale alive today may have been born in the early 1800s, before the American Civil War, before the Industrial Revolution transformed the world. Some individuals bear scars from harpoons manufactured in the 19th century, living witnesses to the whaling era, survivors who've seen the ocean change in ways no human has. They carry within their bodies and their songs a kind of cultural memory, traditions that may extend back centuries. Their longevity rivals that of the oldest trees, and their songs echo through time as well as water. Near the surface of tropical waters, there drifts a creature that seems more plant than animal, more spaceship than life form. The by-the-wind sailor, or Velella velella, is a colonial hydrozoan that floats on the surface, driven by a triangular sail that catches the wind. Billions of these small blue organisms, each about the size of a silver dollar, sometimes accumulate in vast flotillas that can stretch for miles. They drift wherever wind and current take them, filter feeding on plankton, their sails angled either to the left or right, a trait that's genetically determined. This left or right sail orientation serves a crucial purpose. It ensures that when strong winds arise, roughly half the population will be blown in one direction and half in another, preventing the entire population from being driven onto shore and destroyed. It's a genetic strategy for survival through diversity. Not every individual will survive, but the population will endure because they've hedged their bets. In the ocean, as on land, survival often comes not from individual strength but from variety, from the community's resilience rather than any single organism's perfection. As we near the end of our journey, we must speak of the ocean itself, not its inhabitants, but its role in sustaining all life on Earth. The ocean absorbs about 30% of the carbon dioxide that human activities release into the atmosphere, acting as a massive carbon sink that slows the pace of climate change. It absorbs more than 90% of the excess heat trapped by greenhouse gases, buffering the planet from even more rapid warming. Without the ocean's capacity to absorb both heat and carbon, Earth's climate would have changed far more dramatically in recent decades. But this service comes at a cost. The absorbed carbon dioxide makes the ocean more acidic, threatening creatures with calcium carbonate shells. The absorbed heat changes water temperatures, disrupts currents, and stresses ecosystems adapted to narrow temperature ranges. The ocean has been our planet's shock absorber, our buffer against the rapid changes we've introduced, but it cannot absorb infinitely. Its capacity to protect us depends on our willingness to protect it in return. And so we arrive at our final wonder, the truth that encompasses all others: the ocean is not separate from us. We emerged from its waters billions of years ago, when the first cells divided in ancient seas. We carry the ocean within us. Our blood has a similar salt concentration to seawater, a chemical echo of our marine origins. The water in our bodies has cycled through the ocean, has fallen as rain, has flowed through rivers back to the sea. We are made of the same molecules that have moved through this blue realm for billions of years. The ocean is not merely a place we visit or a resource we use. It is part of our planet's circulatory system, its respiratory system, its climate control. It is the womb from which all life emerged and the foundation upon which our survival still depends. These 100 wonders we've explored are not curiosities or entertainment. They are threads in a vast tapestry that includes us, a web of life that we belong to rather than observe from outside. You who have journeyed with us through these 100 wonders, you are connected to every creature we've met, every ecosystem we've explored. The oxygen in your lungs came partly from phytoplankton. The climate you experience is moderated by ocean currents. The rain that waters your food has risen from the sea. You are part of the ocean's story, and it is part of yours. And now, as our journey ends, a new understanding begins. These wonders we've celebrated, they continue whether we observe them or not. In the darkest depths, life persists. On distant shores, turtles still find their way home. In coral gardens, polyps still build. The ocean's work continues, as it has for billions of years, patient and persistent and powerful beyond our comprehension. We've explored 100 wonders, but we've barely scratched the surface. For every fact we've learned, 1,000 mysteries remain. For every species we've met, 1,000 more wait undiscovered. The ocean has given us life, wonder, beauty, and lessons in adaptation, cooperation, and resilience. The question now is not what more we can take from the ocean, but what we can give back. How we can protect these wonders so they continue for another billion years, inspiring another 100 generations, teaching lessons we haven't yet learned to ask. The ocean endures. The wonders continue. And somewhere in the blue depths, life carries on its ancient work, creating tomorrow's mysteries from today's miracles.